Jorge, sorry for being muted over on YouTube. Now you got me. We're over there live on YouTube as well. CKD, if the Yankees didn't get Soto, I wanted Soler. First of all, Soto in Yankee Stadium is going to be absolutely special. That short porch in right field was built for his swing. The fact he can go oppo and still take it down the short porch and left that no one talks about, I just think he fits so perfectly in the Yankees lineup. And I think Soler actually makes a lot of sense with the Giants rather. Almost said the 49ers because San Fran. CKD, I lost 2 nights in a row for my basketball bets. We've had a tough night. The last night we had a really rough night. Not our best. We're hoping to do much better. We're going to give out our first player prop bet at 1,000 likes tonight. First game pick will be at 2,000 likes. First player prop bet at 1,000. Simeon is asking a quick question about if we like the Magic plus 3.5 tonight. Magic are an underdog at home. This is what I would say. The money favors the Orlando Magic. So if you wanted to be on one side right now, I think I would take them on the spread. Overall, I'm not crazy about it. I'd probably buy it to like 6.5. I got Karl Anthony Towns at half a double-double, as in you think he's going to get a double-double. Let's take a quick look at that one. Double-doubles are really interesting bets to take overall. User 1009, you like the Magic on the money line. It's actually one of the games tonight in the NBA that I'm just not touching. I don't feel really good about it overall. Doesn't feel like a great bet or a great game to get a bet on. Feel like it could go either way. Really quick, let's look at Karl Anthony Towns. We're going to look at it across points, rebounds, and assists to see if we like any of them. If we like 2 of them, if we can get the double-double out of them. So, looking at the matchup against the Portland Trailblazers, points and rebounds both look good. That's a good call right there. Nice. As for the double-double, it's been an okay trend. Not great. 3 out of the last 10. Head-to-head, hasn't cashed. But overall, I kind of like this. The points being set where it is, 21.5, 22.5. If you take rebounds, overall on rebounds right now, rebounds is being offered at 7.5. The question is, can he get up to 10? I think it's very close. I like the idea. I don't know if he quite gets to that double-double because I don't know if he can get to the rebounds. But if you can get it, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. We're going to give out our first pick right now, our first player prop bet of the day because we hit 1,000 likes. Our first player prop bet is going to be Jaylen Brown over 17.5 points. Jaylen Brown over 17.5 points. First player prop bet of the show. We'll give out our first game pick at 2,000 likes. Not a ton of picks up on the board today, but we'll give them out as we hit our benchmarks. Jay Show, how you feel about the Kings plus 5? Really tricky one. Let's go take a look at where the money's coming down on that one. That's going to be an interesting game between the Kings and the Suns. Right now, I lean towards the Suns on the cover. I think the Suns, I'd probably buy it down to like minus 3.5, but I lean slightly towards the Suns than I do the Kings as of this moment. User 880, how bad was the Super Bowl hit? Well, we had some cover plays, so I had the 49ers winning. We obviously missed on that. That was unfortunate. But we were able to cash on the Chiefs plus 4.5. I told you guys I had a lot of teasers on the plus 7.5, plus 10.5, and we had the under. So overall, we actually did pretty well, but unfortunately, we didn't get the game winner correct, and that's what we want most. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the show. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button no matter the platform you're watching on. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. We're live here almost every single day, 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. on the weekends. Let's get back to some of these questions. Simeon, Pistons should cover. I don't know how big. I agree with you. I do think the Pistons are going to cover tonight. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Jose, how do you keep up with the NFL draft? Of course. The big news that I'm hearing right now is about the teams that want to trade up to try to get a quarterback. The Falcons, the Denver Broncos, the Minnesota Vikings are all interested in trying to trade up. There are rumors that the Patriots are willing to trade back from number 3. So that would leave whoever's left, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams, whoever's remaining could be available at that number 3 spot. Those are 3 teams that are going to be ambitious. Also, the big report is Justin Fields is now the betting favorite to go to the Steelers. Of all places, it sounds like the Steelers are very taken by Justin Fields. wouldn't be a terrible spot for him, simply because I think they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt in terms of time, where other franchises may view this as a make or break year. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers might give him a 2-3 year time period to really grow into his own. But I also think the Steelers see themselves going up against Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, and Lamar Jackson for the next few years. And they're going, we need more athleticism at the quarterback position. Kenny Pickett doesn't offer it. Mitch Trubisky doesn't offer it. And I think they don't believe they could trade up to get one of these top quarterbacks. All of a sudden, Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix are starting to fall, in part because the teams that want to trade up clearly aren't taken by those guys and aren't willing to just hold pat where they are. And the Steelers, a team I thought was going to go after a mid-first round, late second round, late first round, early second round quarterback, they're now sounding like they're going to go after Justin Fields instead. So a lot of interesting things. IP Shade 45 brings up what may be the best trend right now in the NBA. I'll give out a game pick in just one moment, but I want to show you guys Paolo Banchero right now on assists is the hottest trend in the NBA in terms of a sports bet. He has gone over 5.5 assists in 10 straight games. What do we call that here at Butt Fumble Sports? We call that a lawn. So much green on your screen, you'll need a lawnmower to trim it down. This guy is hitting the over incredibly consistently. However, it might be a trap tonight, IP Shade 45. It's a phenomenal trend. However, he's facing one of the best defenses in the league in the Oklahoma City Thunder. And in fact, they are the best defense in the league at assists allowed to small forwards. They are the best team at defending assists at the very position he plays. So, do you want to take it at the 5.5? If you took it at 4.5 right now, you could get that on DraftKings at minus 310. Maybe you put that into some parlays. That would be a recommendation. The 5.5 has been so consistent. I get it. You may want to take it. I put it on my Instagram because I wanted to show you guys a hot trend. But I also do think this might be a bit of a trap, just given the matchup tonight. If you want to take it, you're riding on the side of the trend. But all trends must end, correct? CKD on my bet app, they have Jaylen Brown over under 21.5 points. Yep, I like to take alternative lines. At this point, I would hope that you guys know that by now. I took it at 17.5. If you want to take it at another spot, let's take a quick look at it. See, I got it offered earlier at 20.5, and I bought that down. So DraftKings has it offered at 20.5. I bought that down to 17.5, minus 300. Really, I should take that at a better spot. I'm willing to take it at 19.5. I'll boost that up. So 17.5 points, over 18.5 points, and over 19.5 points. I think Jaylen Brown gets to 20 points tonight. That's really what I'm saying. In terms of a trend, 6 out of the last 10 games this is hit. If we look at it on the road, 7 out of the last 10. If we look at it head-to-head, 5 straight games against the Nets, he's gone over 23 points. He's hit 23 points or more in 5 straight games against the Nets. That includes 2 games on the road in Brooklyn. So for whatever reason, Jaylen Brown has just been playing them well. Small forward position, the Brooklyn Nets are one of the worst defenses in the league in points allowed to small forwards. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum should both have big games. Hasn't been a great trend over the last 20 games, only 12 out of the last 20, but enough of these trends really line up for me. I'm about this bet a lot. Again, that's Jaylen Brown. I took him at 17.5 for some parlays, but I would also absolutely consider taking him at over 18.5 and over 19.5. Let's just assume he's going to get 20 points tonight. That's really what I like. We have hit 2,000 likes. We're almost actually up to 4,000, so we owe you guys some picks. This is my favorite bet of the day. I'm going to give it out right now. It's my SHARPZ play of the day. Let's get that up here. IP Shade 45, thanks. This is going to be my SHARPZ play of the day. This is my favorite bet of the day, regardless of the sport, regardless of the type of bet, regardless of the odds. Taking the Celtics on the money line. Really like the Celtics tonight. Feel like the Celtics get the win. Again, some of you guys are going to go, yeah, but I want it on the odds or on the spread. If you had to take it on the spread, I might take it at minus 4.5. Kristaps Porzingis game time decision. That's the real reason. Maybe 4.5 isn't a great play. but 8.5 rather isn't a great play. But at 4.5, really like it. It's at minus 210. So I'll put that one up on my board as well for those complainers who want odds that are a little bit, or want spreads a little bit closer. Celtics on the money line is going to be the SHARPZ play of the day. Celtics on the spread, minus 4.5. It's just another bet that I like. Let's give out another player prop bet now that we've hit 3,000 likes. We'll give out another game pick in a moment for 4,000 likes. Another bet that I really like today is going to be Bradley Beal over 17.5 points. Bradley Beal over 17.5 points. That's another player prop bet we're giving out. Another game pick we're going with is going to be Suns on the money line. So again, if you're looking for some same game parlays, maybe you do Bradley Beal points and then you take the Suns on the money line. A couple ways that you guys can get better bets or better bets on the odds we're giving out. Kyle Klein, Magic to cover tonight. Rooting for it, Kyle Klein. Hope they do. Cruel finisher. I do like Virginia on the money line. Good call. I Foley is asking about Schroeder over 1.5 3-pointers. Kind of an interesting player prop bet. Let's go take a look at it on Outlier. Outlier is the sports betting research tool that we use every single day to find the trends, best bets that ultimately hopefully put money in your pocket. If you guys want a free 7-day trial to Outlier, just DM me on Instagram, ButtFumbleSports, name of my company, ButtFumbleSports. DM me, and that way you can get that free 7-day trial for Outlier. Dennis Schroeder, over under 3-pointers. The under has a much stronger implied probability on this one. Interesting. The matchup against the Celtics. Celtics have been bad at preventing 3-pointers to point guards. I understand why the over is kind of an attractive play here. Has hit consistently over the last 4 games. In home games, though, hasn't been a very consistent trend. I'm kind of on the fence on it, Foley. I wouldn't bet it myself, but if you took it, I could absolutely see it cashing. So I like that it's a plus money play. I think you could get it, but overall, I just don't like it enough. Here's what I will say. With no Spencer Dinwiddie, now that he's the starting point guard, he's going to get a lot of opportunity on the floor. So if I did Foley, you might be able to talk me into that with a little bit more enthusiasm than I would have had previously. When we hit 5,000 likes, we'll give out another player prop bet. Matthew Quickly is starting. Gotcha. Quickly starting. Isaac Sabonis over rebounds and assists. Let's take a look at Sabonis now. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys love the content and love the show. If you guys don't, you can feel free to switch on. Totally cool. Let's give out a few more bets. We're looking at Austin Reeves tonight. 2 3-pointers. Let's take a look at that one. By the way, a lot of you guys are looking for more competitive odds. That's totally fine. I may not be the account for you. I really like to cash tickets. I don't like to chase bets that I don't feel great about. I totally understand that some of you just may not be about it. I totally get it. Austin Reeves, 3-pointers. The over has a really strong implied probability on this one, but he's facing a great defense against shooting guards. It's been a good trend, but it's not a great matchup. Really tricky one for me. I probably lean with it. In the head-to-head, it's cashed. Head-to-head, it's cashed 2 out of the last 3. I'll say take it, Austin Reeves, over 1.5 3-pointers, but Snead, it's not a great matchup tonight. Has me a little bit worried. Foley, what is it about the 3-pointer plays tonight? Seem to be very popular. Giannis over half a 3-pointer tonight. The under has a much stronger implied probability. Yeah, not a bet I'm going to take. Head-to-head against the Heat. It has cashed in 2 straight games, but prior to that, it had been a nothing burger. So overall, I'm just not crazy about it. I don't know if I do it. Only has hit in 1 of his last 5 games at home against the Heat. I'll say no, Foley. I'm not going to go after that one. Just feels like I'm chasing a bit of a whale. If you guys have comments, questions, if there are topics around the sports world that you guys care about and want to talk about, we are here for it. So no matter what it is, if you want to play some fantasy baseball, we also have best ball plays that we can start going with. For all those out there, make sure you check out Rival Fantasy Challenges. If you guys have a challenge that you want to throw our way, we can go head-to-head now. Rival Fantasy Challenges allows us to pick 2 players. So if there's a player you think's going to have a really good night, we can go back and forth. I can pick one of my own, and we can have our own rival fantasy challenges. You pick your favorite player of the night. I pick my favorite player of the night. We can literally bet going head to head. So if you guys are interested, plenty of ways for you guys to literally challenge Butt Fumble Sports. We also have Best Ball. Best Ball is a way that we can literally create a league for tonight. So if you guys want to do that, I'm more than happy to actually create leagues with you guys. We'll probably start doing the leagues tomorrow, but we are going to start doing best bet leagues. Also, if you guys want to do mock drafts for fantasy baseball, I don't know how many of you guys are fantasy baseball fans, but if any of you guys want to get in on some fantasy baseball action, that's something we can do as well. Totally up to you. I want to offer as many different ways for you guys to interact with us, for you guys to play along, using the research and knowledge that we give out every day, and of course, get you guys excited about what's going on in the sports world as often as we can. We've hit 5,000 likes, so let's give out another player prop bet, everybody. Next player prop bet is going to be Jason Tatum. I would take over 24.5 points. Jason Tatum over 24.5 points. I could also see Jason Tatum going over 7.5 rebounds. Jason Tatum over 7.5 rebounds. Let me sure I'm getting that number correct. I want to make sure I'm not missing it on this one. Jason Tatum, 7.5 rebounds. Rebounds is set at 8.5. Forgive me, 8.5 rebounds as well. Over 8.5 as well. I like both of them. So there are a couple of bets for you. If you guys have questions, comments, if there are things you guys care about, we're here for all of it. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. That way you never miss our show when we go live. Thanks, IP Shade 45. Jeffrey, your thoughts on the 49ers players not knowing the overtime rules? I thought it was the greatest indictment of Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan didn't call a bad game in terms of the play calling. I thought he ran the ball enough. I don't think he made the mistakes he made as the head coach of the Falcons, or rather the offensive coordinator, of the Falcons when the Patriots came back. I didn't think that Kyle Shanahan made those mistakes, but clearly he didn't have his team prepared enough for the moment. And it tells me all I need to know about why the 49ers ultimately lost. The Chiefs were ready for it, and Kyle Shanahan wasn't, and his team wasn't prepared for it. Do I think it's why they lost? No, but I think it contributes to what I think about his coaching performance in what is now a third lost Super Bowl. Really disappointed for him. Maddie Mann's asking about Jaylen Brown on rebounds. Let's take a look. Jaylen Brown, 4.5 rebounds. Appreciate you guys being with us. Right now I'm seeing the line set at 5.5. Looks like a really good implied probability on that. It opened at 6. It then went up to 6.5 and has since come down to 5.5. This is a great play. Really good trend. Phenomenal. I'm going to put this one in my card as well. Put it on my ticket. Maddie Mann, great find by you. Let's tack this one on. Jaylen Brown over 5.5 rebounds. I like the take. I like the play. Very well done, Maddie Mann. JT, Boston or Jersey under 233. Man, I haven't thought about the Nets being from Jersey in a minute. Between that game, it's right now, you're saying 233. Personally, at 233, I like the under. At 233, I do like the under. Under 233, being offered at minus 205. JT, I kind of like the play overall. Brooklyn has gone under 7 of the last 10 if you set it at that line. Boston, only 6 out of the last 10, but still, feels like a good play. This opened at 232.5, has since come down to 227.5. JT, I think you're onto something. Good find. Elite Detail loves Cincinnati on the money line tonight. Let's go jump over and take a look at that college basketball game. Plenty of college basketball action. For those who are curious, we're going to give out some of those picks throughout the show as well. Cincinnati plays Iowa State, and I like Cincinnati on the money line as well. Elite Detail, put me down for a slice of that. I do like Cincinnati on the money line. Iowa State, 10th in the country right now, but Cincinnati at home, I'd rather have the Bearcats. I think this is a really good play by you, Elite Detail. I just added it to my picks in the Outlier app. LLC, who do I like in the Magic Thunder? I actually didn't bet that game. I feel like that game is an absolute coin toss. I feel like the Magic are going to win, but I don't have enough confidence in that one. It feels like a bit of a trap. I just don't love it. Someone's asking about Syracuse on the money line. Diego, I'm taking UNC. I'm taking UNC on the money line, and I'll put this one out on the big board. I think North Carolina gets the win despite being on the road. Number 7 team in the country. I just don't like Syracuse enough in this one. Not only do I think Syracuse wins, not only do I think UNC wins, I could see UNC covering, let's say, 6 points. So I like that as well. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night no matter where you are. We are live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. on the weekend. So if you're new to Butt Fumble Sports, we rant about what's going on in the sports world. We talk about sports betting. We obviously do our research so that we can help you guys out. And we want to play a lot of different games, fantasy games, sports betting games, a lot of ways that we can interact. So that's what we're going to be doing post-NFL season. I know the end of the NFL season, there's always the question, what are you going to talk about with no fantasy football? What are you going to talk about with no NFL going on? First of all, plenty of off-season to chew on, but we are going to talk about baseball, NBA, NHL, and of course college sports every single night. Ian is asking about Nevada on the money line. Let's take a quick look at Nevada on the money line, see if there's something behind that game that we can sink our teeth into. Nevada hosts New Mexico, 2 teams that are actually very similarly positioned both in the standings and also overall record. Right now, I really like Nevada on the money line. Wow. Nevada on the money line, Nevada minus 1.5 right now. I like the play. I would take Nevada on the money line if I could. I'm not going to put it on my big board, EMB, but I do like Nevada on the money line. There's another college basketball one for you. Now, Marquette and Butler. This one's a little tricky for me. I think Marquette gets the win. I do think Marquette money line feels a little tight to me, but I will put it up on my big board. That's Marquette money line, not taking it on the spread. You guys want another bet? Let's throw out another player prop bet for you from the NBA. Let's go Yusuf Nurkic over 8.5 rebounds. Yusuf Nurkic over 8.5 rebounds. There's another player prop bet for you. When we hit 7,000 likes, another game pick. Simeon, do you think the Celtics cover tonight? I just didn't bet it. I think they could cover at like -4, -4.5. Cruel finisher, Bucks on the money line. Yes, yes, yes. I do like the Milwaukee Bucks on the money line tonight. No Jimmy Butler, so another reason to like the Bucks. I do think they get the win in Milwaukee. Dinero is asking about Baylor minus 6.5. Let's go take a look at that Baylor game. If you guys want access to the same sports betting research tool that I'm using right now to look up this game, just DM me on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Outlier is by far the best sports betting research tool in the world. You can look at how the money's coming in, both percentage of tickets, percentage of money. You can look at the matchups. You can look at the injuries. You can look at the trends, the data, the history between the 2 teams, the stats these teams have. There is not a piece of information that you would want that isn't accessible here. Make sure you DM me on Instagram. Free 7-day trial using my referral code. So give it a try. After 7 days, I have no doubt that you want to keep using it. Oklahoma Sooners are the 25th ranked team in the country. The Baylor Bears are number 12. Right now, Baylor, they're the team to be betting on, everybody. Baylor on the money line. That's one that I do like. I'll put that one up on my big board as well. Baylor on the money line, taking that one, absolutely. Now, the question was about Baylor minus 6.5. I tend to say I like it. Again, I'm someone who usually takes alternative lines. I would maybe buy this down. Baylor minus 3.5 feels like a very good play. That's usually what I would go with there. Baylor at minus 5.5, minus 6.5 feels like a bit of a trap just in case you get into that end of the game free throw shooting kind of back and forth. But overall, I do like Baylor minus 3.5. They've covered this 6 out of the last 10. Specifically at home, they've covered it 7 of the last 10. But don't sleep on Oklahoma. They are a good road team, so just be a little bit careful on it. User 4412, I do like North Carolina on the money line. Isaac's asking about Duran on the double-double, or ask over on rebounds. Let's take a look at that really quick. Appreciate you guys being with us. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing. That way you never miss our show Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. on the weekends. Let's get rebounds back up here. And let's get Duran on the board. Jalen Duran. Over-under on rebounds right now set at 11.5. The over has the better implied probability despite it being set so high. Has been a very good trend of late. 7 of the last 10, 4 of the last 5 overall. On road games, this is hitting 7 of the last 10. And if we look at how the center position has done against the Los Angeles Lakers, the Lakers are the 26th ranked defense in rebounds allowed to centers. Jalen Duran over 11.5 rebounds is actually a very good play. He didn't hit it in his one matchup against the Lakers this year. Interesting. Not crazy about it in terms of the matchup. I'd probably buy it down if I could, but over 11.5, I think that's actually a fine play. Wouldn't hate on it. Simeon, Jaylen Brown over 20.5. I don't like the Suns part of the parlay. The Suns part has me a little bit nervous. I like Suns money line. I'm not taking them on a spread, but I do like Jaylen Brown getting to 20 points. Can he get to 21? Mike Conley over on assists. Let's take a quick look at Mike Conley on assists. We're going to get back to giving out a pick in just a moment. We have let's give out 2 more picks in a second, but first we're going to take a look at assists for Mike Conley. There's assists, and we're going to check out Mike Conley right now. It's set at 6.5. The under has the slight advantage on implied probability. The matchup against the Trailblazers is favorable. He's hit this in 5 straight games, 7 of the last 10. He's hit it in 6 of the last 7 road games. Very interesting to note. Injuries tonight, Anthony Edwards, game time decision. Jaden Daniels, game time decision. Neither one of those has me worried about Mike Conley. I think he could hit this head-to-head against the Trailblazers. He's hit this in 1 of his last 2. Neither one of those matchups, though, was on the road. 7 of the last 20 games, 12 times. I like this one. Isaac, I think you're onto something here as well. Isaac finding some good bets. Let's go back and do some work. We're going to do a hockey player prop bet, and then we're going to get to this game pick. 2 game picks coming your way, but I rarely get a hockey player prop bet. I want to try and help out where I can. Let's take a look at Saros on saves. So over-under on saves. You're taking the over 22.5. Over 22.5 is at minus 350. That's where it really becomes a better bet. I totally get why you're shifting down those odds. Home games, it's been a good trend as of late. Head-to-head, this was a head-to-head, this is a really good trend. Love the head-to-head. Over the last 20 games, maybe not great. In home games, about the same. I would tend to lean towards the over. 22.5 feels like a nice buy, Carter 22. Really like the find there. Okay, let's get back to giving out some picks right now. We're going to give out a few of them. First one we're going to give out, I'm going to take the Lakers on the money line. Lakers on the money line is the next pick we're giving out. But I will also take the Pistons plus 13.5. So if you don't want to take another heavy favorite, there are a lot of favorites tonight. Maybe if you're not into betting on favorites, tonight ain't the night for you. But if you are looking for an underdog on the spread, Pistons plus 13.5. They've been covering the spread as of late. I think Cade Cunningham could have a good game as well. Keep your eye on him. Let's give out another player prop bet. Can't believe I'm giving it out. Can't believe I'm doing it. But I am. Ben Simmons, I am taking over 5.5 rebounds. And don't be surprised if he goes over on points. I could see Ben Simmons actually having a pretty good game against the Boston Celtics. I'm taking Ben Simmons over 5.5 rebounds in this game. I usually am not one to bet on Ben Simmons, but it's a good matchup tonight against Boston, so I have Ben Simmons on my big board. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the content, loving the show. If you have questions, if there's a topic you want to cover, if there's something you care about, let us know. A couple of you guys have been asking me about Virginia. We are taking Virginia on the money line, everybody. Virginia on the money line is absolutely a bet that I've got up on my big board. Let's put it up here right now. Virginia on the money line. So far, the 4 college basketball bets we've given out, we're going heavy favorites. UNC money line, Marquette money line, Baylor money line, and Virginia money line. I might put those 4 in a round robin parlay, and I might just have a fun time tonight. Batcher, St. John, or Providence. St. John or Providence. Right now, I'd lean towards Providence on the money line. If I had to go in one direction, I'd take Providence on the money line if I could. I'm not going to put it up on my big board, but that's probably where I come out. Providence on the money line. Thoughts on Ohio State? Ohio State playing Wisconsin tonight. If I had to go in any direction, I'd probably take Wisconsin, and I'd probably take them on a cover play. I'd probably take Wisconsin at like a -5.5. That feels like the better bet for me. Wisconsin, -5.5. I feel like I like that one a little bit more. As for a total in this game, don't be surprised if it pushes that total of 139 a little bit. IP Shade 45, I like the find. I like the find. Good call, IP Shade 45. Drew's been patiently waiting for us to talk about Tyler Hero, 23.5 points. Felt a little high for me when I was doing my research earlier today. Just not as big on it, Drew. That's why I'm not keen to take it. I'll show it to you guys so you guys can get a sense of it. We're looking at Tyler Hero, and we're looking at the point total, specifically again, at 23.5 points. The over has the better implied probability. The matchup is a favorable one. It just felt high. He's only hit the over twice. It has been in the last 2 games. Let's look at it when Jimmy Butler is out. When Jimmy Butler is not playing, 4 out of the last 10. How about if we take it when Josh Richardson's out? Still, it's just not as great a trend. If you took it at over 19.5, but that's not attractive to a lot of you guys. Could I see it hitting? Yes. I'm just not crazy about it. I'm not jumping to take it, Drew. JC, I know, the Niners blew up my money line bet. On top, Russell, point, assist, over. D'Angelo, Russell. Looking at his point and assist total. Right now it's set at 24.5. The over has a much stronger implied probability, and in part it's because the Detroit Pistons are not a good defense against point guards. 24th when it comes to points allowed, 29th when it comes to assists allowed. He's been consistently hitting this over. In home games, he's been consistent with this. I really like this. On top, I think this is a good find. Over his last 20 games, only 10 of his last 20, but it really is about when he turned it on around the trade deadline. During that conversation, he really has gone hot on this way, head-to-head against the Pistons. This is a good play. I would go for this on top. Russell Wilson over. They're showing it at 24.5 points. I'd take it at over 22. You guys know how I go. I tend to take things at a slightly better spot just because I think the sports books are trying to trap me. E and B, I like that Providence play. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys love the show and love the content. Drew, Russell Wilson. Where do I think Russell Wilson's going to end up? Great question. Could I see him in New England? I don't really believe so. But right now, Russell Wilson is quickly running out of options, given that the Denver Broncos are they're saying they're going to trade him, but the market seems to be moving on. Justin Fields seems to be the hotter commodity. Could I see him going to Vegas and the Raiders? Feels like Aiden O'Connell has a closer relationship with Antonio Pierce than any of us expected. I think Russell Wilson's kind of in an odd man out situation for the moment. Mark, we love all the bets that we are giving out. If there's a player prop bet that you guys care about, let us know. We give out our bets every single day for free on the SHARPZ app. If you want to get my picks, every single pick I give out for free, DM me on Instagram, ButtFumble Sports. Ranger, are you still taking Marquette even though Marquette lost to Butler at Marquette? Yes, actually. I have no problem with that. I still like Marquette. By the way, the fact that they lost at home, don't you feel like they want a little bit of revenge? So I don't actually have a problem with it. Polo. Let's recap all the picks we've given out throughout the show. If you guys miss any of them, DM me on Instagram. You can get every bet that I make every single day for free. So if you miss any of my picks, just DM me on Instagram. I'll hook you guys up with my picks for free. Never behind a paywall, never deleted. They're always accessible. A lot of transparency on the SHARPZ app. So if you want all of my bets, just DM me on Instagram. Here are the picks we've given out so far during the show. We have taken Celtics on the money line. Celtics minus 4.5. Suns on the money line. Bucks on the money line. Lakers on the money line. Pistons plus 13.5. The player prop bets we've given out so far. Jaylen Brown over 17.5 points, over 18.5 points, over 19.5 points. I think Jaylen Brown gets to 20 points. Bradley Beal over 17.5 points. Jason Tatum over 24.5 points. Jason Tatum over 7.5 rebounds. Jaylen Brown over 5.5 rebounds. Yusuf Nurkic over 8.5 rebounds. Ben Simmons over 5.5 rebounds. And we've given out 4 college basketball bets during the show as well. North Carolina on the money line. Marquette on the money line. Baylor on the money line, and Virginia on the money line. Those are the bets we've given out. Those aren't all the bets that we've taken so far today, but those are the bets we've given out throughout the show. Again, if you want every bet I make every day for free, you don't have to follow them. Maybe you don't like my bets. Maybe you think my bets are wrong. You can fade my bets, but this way you see every bet that I make every day based on trends, data, analytics, looking at the matchups, doing the research we do while you're hard at work. This is what we're doing with our time. So if you want to see every bet we make every day, DM me on Instagram, ButtFumbleSports, DM me, and I'll give you a link and referral code to the SHARPZ app. We hit at about a 57% rate on all the bets we take. We hit at about a 68% clip on the individual bets. Obviously, player prop bets, those tend to impact our round robins, rather, and parlays, those tend to impact things. Diego, I heard Wilson is going to restructure and stay as QB1 in Denver. I would be shocked, Diego, but personally, I'd actually credit Russell Wilson for being able to make the sacrifice. How about Virginia on the over? Interesting. We often don't think about UVA as a team to bet the over. Let's take a quick look. I wouldn't bet the over here. I'm still probably not going to bet it at all, but if I had to go any direction, I might take the under, as crazy as it is, at 122. Isaac asking about LeBron on assists. Let's take a quick look at LeBron James. LeBron James, we're going to look at assists right now. He's set at 7.5 assists against the small forward position. Actually, a defense that he should be able to attack. Do I like it at 7.5? I like it at 6.5 more, obviously. 6.5 is going off at minus 245. Maybe you want to pair that with something else, Isaac. LeBron over 6.5 assists. Pair that with another bet. Put it in a 2-leg parlay. Head-to-head against the Detroit Pistons. He hasn't hit over this number. It makes me a little timid. I don't love the bet, Isaac. 6.5 or 7.5 rather feels a little high for me. I just don't love it. I don't have enough confidence in it. Could it hit? Yes. Will it hit? I just don't love it. Not a bet that I'm jumping at. Someone's asking about Kentucky and Ole Miss. Let's take a look at Ole Miss, Kentucky. Appreciate you guys making the time to watch our show. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you're with us every single day as we are live talking sports. No matter the sport, we're about it. Ole Miss 18-5 on the season. Kentucky 16-7, and they have been struggling at home. I'm a big believer in Kentucky tonight, in part because they have been struggling at home. Would I take them on a spread? Hell no. But I take them on a money line right now. I feel like they're going to have a bounce-back game, even against a good opponent like the Ole Miss Rebels. They've been a good team this year. I think this should be the play of the day. Indiana State money line. I love it, Diego. Indiana State has absolutely become one of the darlings of the NCAA tournament to come. I know they haven't punched their ticket quite yet, but look out for the Indiana State Sycamores. 22-3, 13-1 in the conference, 23rd in the nation. I've got the Indiana State Sycamores on the money line as well. Good call. Indiana State on the money line. Get it while you can. It's the best bet of the day, but at the same time, do I think it's going to cash at minus 2,400? You would hope so. Zay, Syracuse +8 makes me a little bit nervous. I feel better about UNC at like -5 than I do about Syracuse at +8. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys love the content, love the show. I'm going to jump off a little bit early today. Really appreciate you guys joining us. Really quick, one more time. If you missed any of the bets we gave out during the show, just DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports, the name of my company, the name of our handles across all these networks. Butt Fumble Sports, just DM me on Instagram. I give away my picks for free. No matter the sport, the type of bet, they're all there. They're never hidden. They're never deleted. They're always, always, always accessible because we never put our stuff behind a paywall. I never, ever, ever want my picks behind a paywall. I want you guys having access to them because you're a sports fan just like me who just wants to put a little bit of money in their pocket after a long day at work. We will be back live at 5 p.m. tomorrow, everybody. So make sure you join us for our Wednesday show here on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful night. Make sure you DM me on Instagram. And of course, enjoy your sports action tonight. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll catch you at 5 p.m. tomorrow, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.